sculptor and psychotherapist Dr. Michael C. Irving and Stephen McDonald, a participant in the Reaching Out Child Abuse Monument. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Now, I thought that both of you could tell us a little bit about your background and what led to your involvement, in the Reaching Out Monument.
Okay, I'm a psychotherapist and a sculptor, and in the 1980s I was working with survivors of child abuse and survivors of profound child abuse. And often while working with them and hearing these tragic nightmares, as an artist, I also thought about the role of memorials to assist with healing and to assist society in coming to terms with difficult issues. And I was at the Vietnam War Memorial in the fall of 1990 and with my wife and my son, and I decided at that point, seeing how much that monument changed an issue that was like child abuse, with a lot of social denial, a lot of social distancing. And I decided to build a child abuse monument. And so for 5 years I ran focus groups with survivors, artists, clinicians, saying, what should a memorial be? And I came up with about 30 designs and did some focus groups, narrowed that down to one design. And part of what I heard is that it needed to be collaborative, participatory, and storytelling and personal. So the idea of using a cast hand and having people do artwork or writing around their hand allowed for that participation, that storytelling, and the personalness. On the Vietnam War Memorial, there's all of the names, and with child abuse, people want to have anonymity or may not want to disclose. And so the hand allows it to be very personal. And then survivors started coming to my workshops, and Stephen is one of the people that did some really remarkable work, non-artists who did professional works of art.
And Stephen, you actually brought your hand, didn't you? Can I? I'll hold it up.
Sure.
Maybe you could actually tell us a little about it.
I could. So in the bottom corner here, we have a phoenix rising out of the flames, representing a rebirth. So for me, when I met Michael 14 years ago, this was the first time I had spoken out in public about the experience that I went through. And this allowed me a voice and a piece of healing at the time. It was the single most influential piece of my healing then. And I got to meet other survivors as well. So in the casting of my hand, this is a sort of new birth, the phoenix rising. This is a shattering of some defenses that I had put up as a child and teenager and into my 20s to keep people away and try and keep me safe. So it's a breaking down of those walls. And this broken heart is the perpetrator. For me, was my stepfather, so he literally broke my heart and trust through his perpetration. And this is a symbol of hope for me and a continued symbol of healing for me to look at it, to see it on the monument. I put my hand on it every time I'm there. It's a continuing 14-year piece of healing for me.
Yeah. Wow.
And
it's quite beautiful, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's quite remarkable that I think we have a picture of the monument. There are 300 quilt squares on the monument made by non-professional artists, people as young as 4 years old to as old as 70, from across Canada. And it was very healing for people to make the squares, but what is remarkable is that visitors, we've got one figure finished in bronze that's sitting in my driveway at 274 Rhodes Avenue in Toronto. And people that visit the monument who are survivors literally experience a healing in the validation and acknowledgement and the storytelling that's there. And when they come with their partners or their spouse or their friends, those people experience a greater understanding of the issues. So it's quite remarkable how art can heal and how everyday people can make what has been being called a masterpiece work.
And you're asking people now to help out, right?
Yes. We all want to do something about child abuse, and we often don't know what to do. And the Monument Project is going to donate these two massive monument figures, 8,000 pounds of bronze, donate it to the province of Ontario, along with the money to build a parquet. And we need the Premier to understand and to know how many people are behind this. So we've got a petition. You go to childabusemonument.com, www.childabusemonument.com, and it just says petition, and you click there, And when you sign the petition, you leave a message telling the Premier why should this monument exist in a public site. We want to put it at the northwest corner of College and University. We've been working with the province for a couple of years to donate it to them. The monument has literally been in the works for almost 20 years in design and production stage, and people have been sculpting on it for 16 years on one piece of art. It's really quite remarkable.
It's so inspirational that you can use art to heal your heart. You know?
Yes, yeah.
It feels like
yeah.
that's what it's about. And I just want to hold up these pictures here because they're quite beautiful of the process. You guys, and I don't think, I was looking at photos online and I didn't realize how big it was until I saw you standing next to it, and then it really hit me that it was quite ginormous.
It is huge.
So there's the details of the quilt squares that people made and fabricating them, me doing the detail work to put them on the monument, and just the massiveness of it, how it fills up this big warehouse space. And this is one of two figures.
Now, as a doctor and an artist now, but you overcame child abuse as well, correct?
I had severe child abuse when I was a little guy, and it really debilitated me. It made me shy, and it made it difficult to speak, and it made it difficult to communicate and relate to other people, and I suffered every day from it. I tried to commit suicide. I put a rope around my neck and hung myself when I was 6 years old. Wow. And that's the kind of pain that child abuse inflicts. And I spent a lot of money on therapy, and I have a wonderful relationship as an adult. And I've healed, and it is possible to heal.
Yes.
And part of my healing is doing a lot of therapy, and part of my healing is in relationship with someone. Part of the healing is the acknowledgement and validation I've gotten from others. And that's what people can do now to help survivors heal, is to vote for the monument and to visit the monument.
Well, thank you both for coming in today. It was a pleasure to meet both of you.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here.
For more information, you can go to www.childabusemonument.com, and here is some more information on the Reaching Out Monument.
Yeah.